Hello, welcome back. GovDoc Breakdown, no opinions, just facts and summaries of government documents, and we let you do the rest. Back at it again, June 6th with a Supreme Court order and a follow-up to U.S. DOGE Service v. Crew. So this marks the first time we've done a follow-up as the Supreme Court makes its way through some of these cases, so yay to us. As a recap, when we left off last, there was a stay granted by the Supreme Court in the case U.S. DOGE Services v. Crew, and the stay applied to the District Court's decision that DOGE should be subject to Freedom of Information requests and release internal communications about their goings-on. We should remember, though, that the Circuit Court in this case denied the government's attempt at an appeal after the District Court ordered that. So the Supreme Court put a pause on the lower court's order for DOGE to release the information and basically has now had time to review the case fully and sided with DOGE. The Supreme Court overturned the D.C. Circuit's denial of appeal or writ of mandamus and remanded the case back to the D.C. Circuit with instructions to reconsider the discovery order from the District Court, this time taking into account the Supreme Court's guidance. And in terms of that guidance, the Supreme Court said that the lower court's discovery order was not narrowly tailored, meaning it asked for too much information. The ruling also emphasized that a group's influence should not determine whether it counts as an agency under FOIA. So even if DOGE gives advice that gets followed, that doesn't necessarily make them a public agency subject to FOIA requests. The court also invoked the principle of separation of powers, saying judges should be careful when demanding internal executive branch communications. So, broad strokes, the case now goes back to the Circuit Court to reconsider the issue of the order to provide that information, and it still could potentially get to the Supreme Court based on the Circuit Court's ruling. All right, Kaimo, keep your mind open, do your own research, form your own opinion. We'll see you in a second.